YouTube creators from around the world who will be joining us. Some of them will be joining us live, some will be joining us on tape, and we're just going to come together to celebrate games. And then at the top of the hour, of course, will be the PlayStation 5 stream that we'll all watch together live right here. And then afterwards, we're going to have a post show with reactions and some other great stuff as well tied to this reveal. I do think it's just important to mention, though, everything that has happened this year so far that has brought us to this state. If you asked me in January if I'd be sitting in a spare room here in Los Angeles broadcasting the PlayStation 5 event, which is going to be this pre-taped video, it just would have been inconceivable to me. But we've obviously gone through a lot over the past few months with the COVID pandemic and how that's impacted the entire video game landscape, especially for events. And then more recently with, of course, everything that's happened with the sort of systemic racism and violence against the Black community. It's been disheartening to sort of see everything that's happened over the past few weeks, and spirit breaking for a lot of us, I think, to have 2020 be a year that has come with so much that has weighed on us. And I don't want to do anything more than just acknowledge that right now and say that I think one of the great things about games is that it brings us together as a community. I've always loved games, that it allows us to play different roles and it see things from different perspectives and understand the world in new and unique ways. And I think we found a lot of comfort in gaming, and the fact that this is a new console year is really exciting. And I hope this is a moment where we can kind of, for a couple of hours, just gather as a community around the world and celebrate how much this passion point means to all of us and get excited about the future of this medium. Today is about PlayStation, but I also think it's about the future of games and how exciting gaming is, that it's this blend of technology and entertainment, and that means the games always get better. And this is a big moment to see what the next 5 to 7 years of gaming is going to look like. And Sony has called the ball by saying this is the future of gaming. So I'm really excited to see what they have for us. So anyways, we've got a lot of great guests that will join us over the next hour to talk about our predictions for PlayStation and what we expect to see. But before we get into that, I wanted to kind of recap a little bit on what we do know so far about PlayStation 5. And we will have, again, as I mentioned, the live event, which we can all watch together here live at the top of the hour. So thank you for joining us in these kind of unusual circumstances, but I'm really, really excited about what we're about to see today. So PlayStation 5. A lot of people have been wondering, what are we going to get to see today? PlayStation 4, I remember being in New York City for the PlayStation meeting, which was, I think, at the end of February. It's like February 20th, if I remember right. And that was a big moment of PlayStation, and people wondered, were they going to show the box? Well, they didn't, but they showed a lot of great games and talked about the system. This is different. This is not a PlayStation meeting. It's PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. We're obviously going to see games, and that's going to be a big part of it. But people want to know more about the PlayStation 5 hardware. What can we expect? Are we going to see the box today? I don't know. It feels like it's going to be more about the games today. But one thing we have seen is the PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense. That was sort of surprisingly dropped on the internet a little while ago, and you can see it here. Really cool two-tone look to it. And one of the things that is unfortunate, given the fact that we're all kind of staying at home and not going to events, is I haven't had a chance to hold this. I don't think many people have. And when you talk to a lot of game developers, they talk about the haptics in the controller and a lot of the interesting things that Sony is doing with this controller. And it looks really unique and different. It's a bit of a redesign from the traditional, DualShock. But from what I've heard, there's a lot of interesting technology inside of that controller. So it looks futuristic, but also has a lot of futuristic technologies in it. And hopefully we'll learn a little bit about that today. In terms of the games, we know that we're going to see PlayStation 5 games, and we've gotten some hints of what PlayStation 5 might be capable of. Many of you probably watched Mark Cerny's talk back in March. I think it's up to like 15 plus million views on YouTube about his road to PlayStation 5. And he's such a brilliant author and architect of the platform, thinking of how we can really push the medium forward with this dedicated hardware and a new console generation. And you've probably heard about the SSD drive in the PS5 and how that's going to enable new types of games and experiences, not just better graphics. And that's something hopefully we'll hear a bit about today. The first game, though, for PlayStation 5 was that we saw was at the Game Awards back in December. You may remember there was a title named Godfall that was revealed with a trailer near the top of the show, and a lot of people sort of got excited about it, and it was a bit of a surprise that the PlayStation logo was on that trailer, and it was, I think, the first confirmed game that was going to be coming to the PlayStation 5. So Godfall, we don't know if it'll be included in today's event, but they've been teasing a little bit on social media with some visuals and whatnot over the past few weeks. So I would not be surprised if we see something on that today. But that was sort of our first glimpse of PlayStation 5. And then, of course, the other thing that recently happened that got a lot of excitement was the Unreal Engine 5 reveal that I was honored to do alongside Tim Sweeney and the team at Epic Games. And obviously a lot of speculation and excitement around what Unreal Engine 5 is going to be able to do with PlayStation 5. You can see a little bit of footage here of it. It's got a new technologies in it, including nanite, that allows them to do incredibly detailed worlds and full global illumination. This is all happening in real time in the game world. And as many of you know, Unreal Engine powers a lot of the big games out there across the industry. So this was a great glimpse at where games might go in the future. And this is a technology demo. We're not going to see this game announced today at the event or anything. I think this was really a tech demo, but it is playable. And I think captured all our imaginations about where games are going to go. And no, this is not probably what every game shipping this holiday season is going to look like. But when you see that flight moment with her flying through the air, and you just get excited about that, whether it's 2 years away or 4 years away, we're eventually going to get there. And that's what's so exciting about games, that, you see that and you just get naturally excited about the future of this medium. So that's a little bit of kind of what we know so far about PlayStation 5. I expect we'll have some new game announcements today. Sony's first-party studios have been very quiet about what they've been working on for PlayStation 5. Of course, we know The Last of Us Part 2 is coming out next week from Naughty Dog, and then Ghost of Tsushima from Sucker Punch for PS4. So there are two big PS4 games still to come. But what Sony's Worldwide Studios Group and Herman Hulst and the team have been putting together for PlayStation 5, hopefully we'll get a little bit of a tease of that today. One thing I have heard is that, this is and I think Jim Ryan, the CEO of PlayStation, has said, this is the start of the sort of PlayStation 5 story. It's not everything all in one event. So, there will likely be things that will be held until later this year. And will we see the console? Will every game get announced? It's I think we're in a mode now where game companies are spreading their news out a little bit. So I think we'll have a lot of news today, but it doesn't mean that's everything. And I'm sure there will be more to share over the coming months as we lead into holiday 2020. So it's going to be an exciting day. The countdown clock is up, and we are ready to get onto it. About 45 minutes until the live stream starts from PlayStation, and we're going to run that here live. So we'll watch that. We're not going to commentate over it. We really want to just all experience it together live, and then we'll come back with the post show after. But right now, we're going to bring in some special guests from around the world to talk about PlayStation and what we expect. And one of the things that was important to me with this show is let's bring everyone together. We've got some great YouTube creators from around the world that'll be joining us, and even from far off places like India. They've submitted videos, and I hope you'll see some familiar faces that you've seen on YouTube, but also other gamers, be introduced to them around the world. And what unites us all is this love of gaming and PlayStation. So let's kind of jump right into it with our first panel and welcome our first guest, someone you know very well, who's, I think, sufficiently excited about all things PlayStation. We've got Matt Pat joining us, the game theorist. Hello, Matt.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me on.
Great to have you on as well. We're excited about all things PlayStation. We've also got Jack Septiceye joining us live. Hello, Jack.
Hi, Papa Jeff. How's it going?
It's going well. Your camera's looking good.
You too. Can we just compliment each other's depth of field right now?
I was going to say, we're doing our best for PlayStation, which is exciting. And also, joining us live from Los Angeles, my good buddy Lamar Wilson. Lamar, what's going on?
Doing well, man. How are you doing? Good to see you. Got some generic superheroes behind me so we don't get copyright.
No hints, right?
No, none.
Chess game for PS5 about to be announced? All right, well, Lamar, great to have you with us. So,
Thank you.
At Jack Lamar, we're going to talk a bit about all things PlayStation 5 here. First of all, let me turn it over to you guys. What do you want to see today? It's PlayStation 5, the future of gaming. So everyone's sufficiently hyped, but like, what's your expectation? Maybe let's start with you, Matt. Like, what do you want to see today?
I really want to see the box. Honestly, I know that that's in question, but there have been so many interesting images of what the hypothetical design for this thing looks like. I just wanted to know, is this actually going to look like my futuristic space grill, or is it going to be another kind of like flat black rectangle? Don't get me wrong, I'm excited about the games. Obviously, there's a lot of PlayStation exclusive titles that I really want to see more footage of, but I mean, to really feel like this is a big announcement, to me, I need to see physical evidence of what this thing is going to look like.
All right, fair point. Yeah, we will see. I don't know. I mean, Sony's been doing things in an interesting way this year. It's like they might also just like drop that on like Twitter right before the event or something, or who knows?
Right, it's just going to appear in an Instagram story and then fade away within 24 hours.
I mean, you have no idea, right? It's
right.
There's not a physical event, right? Even what this video is like, is it going to be people be talking? Will it just be trailers? Will it be slick or everyone on webcam? Like, no one knows. Jacksepticeye, what's I know you love the game, and you love PlayStation franchises, so I'm sure you have some hopefully some predictions on what you'd like to see game wise too, right?
Yeah, I want to see Knack 3. Everyone's waiting for it. Where is it? I want to see an announcement for it finally.
Mark Cerny is sitting at home right now, and he just laughed at it.
Write that down. Write that down. I keep hearing rumors of Bloodborne PlayStation 5 PC, and we've seen Sony come out and say that certain games are coming to PC. Horizon is coming.